Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, everyone. So I'll tell you, everything in Rhino is great, right? Like every part of Rhino makes me happy. I've learned today that there is a part of Rhino that makes me not happy. I know, stop the presses. There is a term that contains the word Rhino that is destroying my life today. And it's called the rhinovirus. I woke up with the worst cold. Well, I went to sleep with it, but hey, Frida, I don't know. So when you have two kids under 16, 17 months, especially when one goes to school, they just bring all this stuff home. And as a child, I mean, their immunity is super duper duper, and he goes through school and constantly battling every single disease. That's fine. In fact, I battle every disease. I never get sick. But in not sleeping, in kind of really lowering my ability to fight back, just because I've kind of been nonstop, which is fine. And my wife said to me today, she's like, "Are you gonna take a little bit of a break?" I go, "No." She goes, "Well, Rhino won't work if you're dead." I was like, "I know that, so stop being so." But she's a nurse, so I not only does she absolutely adore me, but her advice is credible. So. But regardless, here I am. So I'm really feeling up. Yeah, Carl, I don't know what it is. I'm feel like when I had gotten up earlier before I came to the office, I just laid on the couch. My wife's like, "Do you want me to make you breakfast?" I'm like, "Yes." So obviously I'm up and moving around, and here we are, right? So anyway, this call might be a little shorter because my brain is really it's just not working. I'm writing a very long email to someone right now. So let's go through it. The email that I sent out this morning, as you'll notice, had a bit of a European highlight to it. And the reason being, so the email that got sent out this morning was sent to 16,000 new recipients, 16,000 people that have never received an email by us. 15,000 of them are from Europe. So I don't ever want to be spammed by 15,000 people. So in sending an email that I know the majority of it, a majority of the new people it's going to are in Europe, I want to lightly address Europe so that they read it and they're like, okay, at least this person knows who he's emailing. Hey, Deborah, I'll unsubscribe, right? Like he took the time to at least be a little bit respectful. So, or maybe they learn more, right? So we'll see. We're not going to add new emails to our system for at least 2 days. Like we need to really absorb this big increase. But as you've seen in the email updates that we've sent out every morning, we're kind of averaging around 10,000 email opens a day. Hi, from Europe? Yeah, Eve, we emailed every one of your friends. And they all had nice things to say about you. They're like, "Eve, we love her." I'm like, what a coincidence. So we'll see what happens. And like I said, so a week ago, and again, the email opens and the emails we send every morning are a 1 week lag so that we can at least have 7 days to identify the data. We suspect that average of 10,000 this time next week will probably be closer to 11 or 12,000 as a result of our efforts this morning. And again, when you have 1,000 new people opening your email every day, it's a good thing. Now, we don't necessarily monetize that, right? It's not like we're sending emails to buy this keychain or anything. We don't sell anything. So what we've always done is we're looking to just welcome people into our ecosystem, to welcome them into Rhino. And I got to tell you, this RHINOHUB idea has grown to be something much larger than I ever thought it would be. Because effectively, and I'm going to try to quote the email I'm writing right now. In fact, maybe I'll write it to everyone. It's actually directed at a single investor, but maybe I'll share it. We effectively found a way to transfer the value of education and job placement from normal institutions like universities and job placement programs to the people. And what I mean by that is because the advent of AI is making college kind of obsolete. And listen, I don't say obsolete in the sense that it's a bad idea to go to college. I mean, maybe you could make the argument today, but again, I have kids, and when they get to be 18, if they get a full ride to school and they want to be a doctor or a nuclear scientist or something, I'm going to say, yeah, you go to school, like go to college. If they want to, I don't know, be an auto mechanic, I don't think they need to go to college, right? So college is not 100% any longer. There are things you can do that don't require college. And what we've found is with the advent of AI, there's so many different positions that are leveraged to AI that during this gold rush where companies are looking to acquire the talent so that they could grow for years to come, they're putting out their own curriculums. They're doing the work for the colleges because colleges can't move quick enough because they have standardized education. So they're doing all the work for them and providing the certifications, which means if someone was smart enough or behooved to go ahead and say, wait a second, you're giving out education that is not only really, really super valuable, but it's more valuable than even colleges could do because your education is actually going to get you the job placement, while college education is maybe going to get you an interview. Well, and you're doing it for free. So why don't we go ahead and let's go ahead and repurpose this. Let's teach it. You're happy because we're teaching your education on behalf of you, which, by the way, there's a Salesforce program designed for exactly what we're doing. We haven't emailed them yet, but there is a program where we could sign up to be an approved teacher of their stuff. And we get a whole bunch of other stuff, which is really, really cool. So I need to find the time to do that because why not, right? But not only are we doing Salesforce or fill in the blank for the company a favor, but we're reaping the rewards of it because they're looking at it long-term. We're looking at it like, all right, well, this is money right here. Because our value proposition is not, okay, come to Rhino, learn something and leave in 21 days. Our value proposition is that we're teaching this as a characteristic, as a personality outcome of who we are. Therefore, if you think what we're doing is good, then you're going to like the other things that we're doing as well. So we're able to kind of continue growing our ecosystem in a way that allows us to kind of give the free sample, in which case the person's like, oh, I'm gonna say Chinese because they always have free samples when you go to the mall. Oh, I really love this General Chow chicken. Let me go ahead and get a full dish of it. Now, when you go to the mall, if you walk away after getting a free sample, they yell at you. We don't do that, but I've always found that amusing. I love the confidence of free sample ladies and gentlemen for that matter. It's like you take a free sample and they're like, where did you go? You come back here. It's like, I thought it was free. And that's when you learn in life, nothing's free, right? So anyway, so that is kind of the model of this. But here's the bigger thing. Everyone knows, well, I don't know, but maybe you know, maybe you don't, that upon the completion of RHINOHUB, the 21 days, which actually ends next Friday, we're effectively in the middle of it right now, we're going to have a whole bunch of data to show our proof of concept. Did it work? Was it successful? Did people pass the test, etc. Excuse me. It's at that moment that we're going to want, if the data is good, which of course we're going to make sure it's good because we're building it for that, right? So it's not going to be a surprise that day. We want to go ahead and offer the membership site as an agency. Now remember, RHINOHUB is an agency site, which is why when you go ahead and join RHINOHUB, it asks you for your credit card information. Even though it's free, it's still a product. And as a product, by definition, it has to have a checkout. To have a checkout, you need to have credit card information, even though you only get charged $1 and it drops off. That's just the way it works. And we've done that, although it would have been easier to not do that because we probably would have 100 more people in it because a lot of people are like, hey, it's free, but there's a credit card. It's a little weird, not interested, which God bless them, right? Like everyone is welcome to their own security measures. In fact, if somebody has that behavior in perpetuity, they will never get scammed. They'll also never be a part of a good opportunity, but you take the risk with the reward. That being said, when we go ahead and convert the membership to an agency, we're going to have data. Hey, listen, in the 21 days via our marketing efforts, which was simply cold emailing or whatnot, we were able to add X amount of members. These X amount of members also subsequently participated in X amount of revenue opportunities. 11 are in a $5 a week plan, or 2 are in a $1 a week plan, or how many went ahead and purchased something from the store, blah, blah, blah. Meaning, on average, each member is worth X amount of revenue per week. Why is that important? Well, the agency cost us $15 a week to do. we're going to charge $25 a week for anyone that's in agency, which means we have to come up with a calculation that X amount of people times X amount of weekly revenue equals 25 or greater, so that the agency owner says, okay, I would like to be a part of this. I want to make sure that I'm profitable. Can I be profitable right away? Well, that's our challenge. Can we go ahead and do that? So that's effectively what we're doing now. Now, here's the cool part. Actually, it's all cool, right? Like, I love it. So the bot that we're making, we fully coded, it works. Like you could go to membership right now and type in the bot and it'll tell you, I don't know, how many clovers are on a 4-leaf clover. And if you don't know the answer, okay. What it can't do is take your question and run it through Rhino first. For instance, if you ask how many leaves are on a clover, we want to say, yeah, there's 4, just like the 4, I don't know, right? Like we want to take the answer and answer it respectfully and somehow offer the individual an opportunity to learn more about something that is premium to Rhino, whether it be Rhino Wealth, email, yada, yada, yada. Now, maybe the clover is not going to be a good example because we don't sell anything or even have anything with clovers, right? So we'll allow that to just be a ChatGPT answer. That being said, not only do we want the bot to do in a fairly conversational, lighthearted, comfortable manner, be able to recommend product, we wanted to do it insightfully, with value, and accept the answer no. Because a lot of times no is just one step closer to yes, right? Like if you say no to me 3 times, I get it, right? Like no. But if I ask you out on a date and you're like, I don't know, I'm kind of busy this week, and I'm like, are you though? How about just coffee? And you're like, okay, fine, I could just do coffee. Like, that's okay. I'm from a background of sales, so I do understand the difference between being aggressive and being non-aggressive. I promise you, it will never be aggressive. And in fact, everyone knows that, right? Like we've all conversated many, many times. We do want to go ahead and allow the bot to accept one no answer and come back with a, something, what's it called, a retort or whatnot. And that retort might be offering something at a discount. All right, fine, it was $5 a week, but if you act now, here's the code and it's 20% off. Okay, great. That individual now went ahead and did that. Can the bot also identify follow-up? Like for instance, if you go on membership today and you go on membership tomorrow and you go on membership, whatever the next day of the week is, can it say, hey, I remember when you were here Tuesday and you clicked that button. I want to make sure that you got the correct curriculum. If you didn't, here's a follow-up, here's a highlight of what you should be studying, right? Where the person's like, it's kind of half creepy, but like, thank you, I needed that. Like this follow-up is really, really good. Also, can it go ahead and to be present, right? So say, for instance, you're clicking something, can it go ahead and be somewhere that it doesn't approach you, but you're like, I've just clicked 5 different things, I don't know what I'm looking for. There's the bot, thank God, right? Can it do that? And if it can do all that, then effectively what the bot is a 24/7 expert salesperson on your membership site. Now, if you have a 24/7 expert salesperson on your site, what happens to your weekly revenue? What happens to the money that you're able to make? It all goes up. The coolest part about that is because your RHINOHUB is the same exact as our RHINOHUB, well, we're going to spend the time to code the bot to be absolutely perfect, right? Like we're going to do it in the best vision of our place because making RHINOHUB successful is a really big deal to us. What that also equals is that anyone that owns RHINOHUB agency, that bot's going to be upgraded at the same upgrade cycle as ours, right? So like when I go ahead and push the code through to upgrade our Rhino bot, it's not going to be, well, Brian, Carl, Deborah, and Frida, your Rhino bot's not updated, only mine is, right? Like mine is, and we're gonna leave you with like the not good one. No, they're upgraded across the board. It's from a single source of code. Meaning, despite the infinite number of individuals that will join Rhino agency, Rhino retains 100% control over 2 things. A, the marketing message, and that's not because we think we're smarter than you, but it's obviously in our best intention to make sure that the marketing is so good that it equals conversions. Therefore, for you, you're going to be quite happy. Yeah, they're doing all my marketing. Like they're doing the best they can. Presumably, they could do better than me, so I let them do it, right? But secondly, we'll be able to test what works and what doesn't on a very big scale. So for instance, maybe a marketing message of like, hey, check me out, I'm really funny, come buy this, works for me. Maybe that doesn't work for, I don't know, let's go to a different name. Maybe it doesn't work for George. Maybe George is like, people don't find him funny, but maybe people find George really handsome. So he's like, hey, I'm George, look at my looks, come buy from me. That might only work for George, but that might not work for Kaylin or Maurice because they're, they make good coffee or something, right? Like everyone has their value proposition. The point being, in testing what works for us across everyone, we're going to know exactly what the highest conversion metrics are on a very big scale. Meaning anyone that participates in RHINO agency is going to effectively have a built-in optimal converting blah, 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 blah every single day, 24/7. The goal being that every RHINO agency makes a ton of money for you as completely passive income because you don't have to do anything. I'm doing the content, right? Like I'm right here, I'm producing the content, I'm doing this, and not because I'm like completely crazy, which I am, but I love this stuff, right? So maybe at a later date, we'll hire some really, really good teacher or like we'll expand the RHINO community, and that's fine. But as of now, and even then, I'm going to be completely in control of the content because I'm going to have to approve it. So as a RHINO agency owner, it's just totally passive. Like you just sit there. Even the $25 that's coming from agency to RHINO is coming out of the revenue that's coming to you, right? Like it's all right there. So the goal for us is to make every agency as much money as possible. Now, somebody might say, because I was saying it in my head before, well, Anthony, that sounds like way too good to be true. Why wouldn't you charge people more than $25 a week? Why wouldn't you just do this for yourself? Why wouldn't you just make a whole bunch of automated, like, why do this? And the answer is quite simple. Again, nothing's free. A, we're retaining you. Your $10 a week is coming to RHINO and it's purchasing RHINO bucks as buy orders. That's good. But here's the part that RHINO has been trying to solve for the, we haven't been able to really grow RHINO Street and or RHINO Bucks. We've grown it within our ecosystem, but we haven't grown it outside the ecosystem. The entire RHINOHUB has been built to be a value proposition that allows everyone to participate on something that makes sense to them. Well, in RHINOHUB, the individual that goes ahead and successfully completes their certification or they're building their website or they're doing their resume or stuff, do you think in that moment of time it might be good to them and say, hey, and by the way, now that you're doing this, make sure that you go ahead and list your company, do it for free right here. Do you think that person in that moment will list on RHINO Street? I think yes. How about when they go through the entire program and then they find out at the end, or even during it, but maybe even so much at the end, when we go ahead and offer them RHINO agency and say, hey, listen, a lot of people have participated in this program, you've now completed it, you've had firsthand knowledge of it, would you like to participate in it? And just to let you know, the revenue from RHINOHUB, if you think this is so successful, flows directly to RHINO Bucks. Would you like to at least participate in an investment side? You can do anything you want, but this is how RHINO Bucks makes money. Do you think that individual will say, oh my God, finally, this makes sense. Yeah, of course I'll do $1 a week. Find out why wouldn't I? That's why RHINO's doing this. So yeah, of course, can we become like absolute trillionaires by keeping this to ourselves? Sure. Do I owe you to say why we're doing it? Of course, because again, nothing's for free. Every time someone offers me something for free, I go, what's in it for you? And they think it's offensive. No, I need to know that you're making something, or I don't know how I'm getting got, right? So if someone says to me, and I did this when I bought did I buy it? Yeah, I financed my car. So 2 years ago when I went to the dealership, I go, and the guy's like, all right, I'll offer it to you at this. I go, listen to me very closely. I believe you should make money. I don't believe that you should take advantage of me. So I need to know what the actual price of the car is, and we'll let you make 10% on it. If that's not good enough for you, I'm walking out now. But I need to know the price of the car, and I need to know what you're making. Not because I want to go ahead and make sure you earn zero, like that's not good for your family, the economy, and all the rest. But I need to know what it actually costs. Like I need to know that I'm making a good deal. And guess what? I was signed up and done within 5 minutes, right? Yeah, exactly. So that's just RHINOHUB, and that's kind of the big picture of it. So we're working, oh, you know what? I want to show you something. So, oh my God, I've been working so hard on this, it's ridiculous. I want to show you the items in the store. And actually, so I'm like almost a little embarrassed about this because it's like, Anthony, you have a lot of stuff to do. Why are you spending so much time designing? And it's not that designing is embarrassing, but it's like, is that the best use of your time? Because if you're not a good designer, well, it's not a good use of your time. You're wasting time. But I actually think I'm a pretty good designer. And I say that because, well, A, I like the product. My wife looked at it, she's like, oh my God, that's so hot, I want it. But in RHINOHUB, we do need to have the opportunity where someone visits Aruba, they could buy a shot glass. We need to have stuff to sell, not because, oh, we want to make a ton of money, which we would like to make money, but people want to buy something when they're somewhere that is memorable to them. So let's take a look. All right, so let's start at the equality collection. Now, every one of these words is a quality in a different language. And I think that's so cool. Now, everything has a $5 margin. So RHINO will make $5 profit on every item of the store. But like, so cool. And I think I gotta make 2 more just to make it look even. I need to spend some time on Learn, Earn, and Succeed because this is gonna be directly for those that are in RHINOHUB. You know, they wanna buy a notebook, maybe they wanna buy a backpack, maybe they wanna buy an iMac computer case, right? But here's the coolest stuff. I don't know, I made a whole women's line yesterday, Dream Loudly. I don't know if you remember distributive marketing? And we made a couple of sections, and one was with MLK, Dream Loudly, and that just resonated with me. Like dream loud, like that's RHINO, we dream loudly. Now check this, oh my God, okay, check this out. Look at these shirts. Like, are you kidding me? You're telling me somebody wouldn't buy that? Like, get out of here. So I have it with her, black and white. So it's like if you want to wear a normal fashion, black and white, that's cool. And the design and everything's ours. We made it, right? And we have yoga pants if you want to be a little bit louder, right? Pink, so dream loudly on both legs. And of course we have RHINO green, right? So loudly dream, okay. So as you go forward, so my wife didn't like the bag. I thought like the bag is awesome. That's the bottom of it, dream loudly, dream. Like so cool. But all right, so when we get to the next row, those are the best. So let me just show you these. So these are bomber jackets. Look at the back. And it's kind of quiet in the front because, you see the arms, that's cool. And of course, RHINO green as well. Like, I just gotta tell you, if I saw this girl walking with this jacket, I don't know who she is, but I'd be like, yo, you look cool. Like, where did you get that? Check these out. Who is telling me that they wouldn't buy these? Are you kidding me? So I gotta tell you, I actually think, and the goal was always, can we create a design that if somebody did not know RHINO, they would still buy it? That's always been the goal, and you've heard me say it many times. And I think we've accomplished it with this women's line. I just do. Dream loudly is a great sentence. I just love it. So that's that, right? Did you get my email over the weekend with the design idea? I think I did, Brian. I don't remember it. I actually have a lot of emails to catch up on today because last night I sent out emails from Kartra, which, oh, by the way, obviously I know who everyone is. The email says Dear Anonymous. It said Dear Anonymous to me. It said Dear Anonymous to my wife. When we went ahead and transferred the emails over from Stripe to Kartra, if you remember when you signed up for RHINO Weeklies, the RHINO Retirement, it didn't ask you your name. It was just, what's your information, because we did expedited checkout so that everyone could sign up really easily. In doing so, we never capture people's names. So when you go ahead and upload the data from Stripe and bring it over to Kartra, it just has email addresses. So when I was on Kartra and I wrote hi and then first name, because it didn't have first name, it wrote anonymous. Be that as it may, I have to go through those emails because I have a bunch and I don't know what they say, but some are probably like, you don't know me, or what's this email, or did you send it? And so I will go through it, Brian. Oh, Deborah, right? Like how cute. So I want to have that done by today so that I can go ahead and start identifying where in the emails to put it. Maybe we let that live on Etsy. Like who knows where that goes? But anyway, I'm going over. I have a RHINOHUB at 11 and I'm already behind on the day. So love everyone. That's where we are at the moment and where we're going. And another great day. Although rhinovirus is kicking my butt, but this is Anthony sick, which is, I'm still like really energized. So why do I keep saying so? So you can tell I'm sick. Okay, gotta go. Bye. Love you. Bye.